And hello, welcome to Our Ventura TV. My name is MB Hanrahan, and today my guest is David Yoshitomi. He is the director of the board of Bell Arts Factory, a community center and a collection of individual art studios that is on the west side of Ventura, on Ventura Avenue. And it is currently practically the beginning of June of 2020. And our society is opening up. California is opening up. So David, in the context of today, I'd like you to talk a little bit about what it's like to close down Bell Arts and then start opening up and what you see in the future.
Well, I think the hardest decision the board had to make was the rapid closure that came down. It was pretty much, 1 week it was, we're a little bit worried what's going to happen. Are we going to have to cancel some events? Then it was, okay, it looks like we're going to have to close down the facility. So it was just adapting to that kind of forced decision that we had to make under a time frame. And I think some people were understanding of it. Other people didn't understand it, or they weren't as following the news as much. So it really was communicating that message and saying, like, listen, we have to do this. These are government orders that are saying that we need to close down. We're a community facility, and the worst thing you can do in a pandemic is bring people together.
It was not subjective. It was an objective decision.
No, it really was. There really wasn't even a decision. It was by government order. Here we go. Yes. We were fortunate enough that we were a couple of days ahead of that final order coming in, so we had a little bit of lag time to get the message out. But by the time, I think it was back in March 20th, I think, that's when the county order came in, and that's when we had to, where the doors of Bell Arts Factory closed. So I think on the flip side of that reopening up, it is the gradual process that you've talked about, and then working in a constant state of change and uncertainty. You don't know what the next government order is going to be. You don't know what the next reaction from people are going to be and how that's going to go, and what there's a lot of, I think, some gray areas and some room for interpretation on things, and it's making the best decisions within those contexts that are always changing.
And how many artists are we talking about at Bell Arts? That approximately?
About 30. There's a couple of shared studios and a few of those, but I think about 30 artists in general. Yeah,
and there was probably, at least I would say, 5 or 6 community organizations that used our more communal spaces regularly every week. So we were not talking about just a few individuals. We were talking about public coming in, coming out all day, every day, and people that were there sometimes every day.
No, it was art classes, dance classes, yoga classes. There was, numerous, I guess, lack of a better term, stakeholders that we had to inform. We did stop the classes a little bit in advance of the actual full building shutdown. But really, there's Bell Arts serves a community. It serves the avenue. It serves the city of Ventura, and it really was a tough decision to make, but we had to make it, again, based on government recommendations or orders, and I think the health and safety of everybody.
Is there anything that you've that maybe in the back of your mind, or that the board's talked about in integrating any virtual elements that many of us have been employing in the meantime? Anything about, anything about anything that has gone on that might be integrated into Bell Arts in the future?
Yeah, I mean, the silver lining to this, and I think, is that everybody was forced to adapt. I believe actually the board meeting where we had to decide whether or not we were going to close down was actually held on Zoom, and that was the first Zoom meeting ever. So that was kind of a telltale sign that things were changing, right? But since then, we've done really kind of experimental. We've done Michelle Foster, who does our youth art program, has done quite a few online youth art classes, and has been sharing some of the students, and been staying connected with her students via Zoom. we've been working. We did our first virtual First Friday in May, which was a
Yep.
lot of fun. Just kind of, and the interesting part is we brought in a lot of new artists that we hadn't met before, that had maybe sent us some emails saying I want to exhibit or those type of things. But it really was an opportunity to connect with new people as well as some of the existing Bell Arts Factory artists. And so we look forward to doing that again in June. But short answer to your question is yes, there's a lot of opportunities, I think, where we can innovate and use technology in a more outward-facing way to engage with whether it's our students or artists or just the public in general.
That's, in mentioning that, I feel that I've seen individual artists who were putting their work out, but just me personally, what I see the opportunity of is that Bell Arts might become known to more people now and bring in more artists, not even just, physically bring them in from other places, but that we might be able to jump on a new bandwagon of having events that people want to tune into us. In addition, and then when they're in the area, come and see us in person. That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly what I see too, is that what the technology has allowed us to increase our reach of people from beyond Ventura, beyond our four walls, and to people that might not want to make the drive in from Thousand Oaks or maybe even San Diego or maybe even internationally. There were actually, I think, a few people on our First Friday that were watching their friend exhibit their work that were international, or they hadn't seen their friend in a long time, and they were happy that they could interact via this Zoom technology that we were using for that. So,
all right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, except last thing is just that I think through all of this, the most important thing is that everybody works together and remains cooperative, and understanding that we're going into a big unknown, and the only way we will get through this is by working together, by listening to each other and sticking together.
Yeah, Bell Arts it's always been an evolving organism. Just from my personal experience, it's evolved and it's evolved and it's evolved, and I'm with you in the hope that this evolution will actually make us stronger and more valuable to our community and the world than we were already.
Right. No, I agree. So
very good. Well, thank you so much for your time, David. Stay safe. And thank you for joining us on Our Ventura TV. I'm MB Hanrahan, and I will see you next time.